Hey, happy day, Pajama Grandma. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with a chronic painkillers prescription kind of special edition. I call this the Painkillers Booster, and it is a little strategy that I do in the morning for about 7 minutes every morning. I spend 1 minute each on 7 different things. I'm going to share with you in a second, but I want you to know that you can use this booster any time of day, morning, noon, night, anytime in between, that you need a little pain-killing supercharge. The 7 things I'm going to share, you can change the order up. It doesn't matter what order you use them or do them in. I've experimented with it for, at least a decade now, and I've changed it up all the time. Sometimes I do, step 5 first. Other times I do step 3 first. Sometimes I do it in the exact order I'm going to share it with you. But it's okay. You do whatever works for you to mix it up and do the different things in whatever order you want. And the other thing I want to make mention of is that it doesn't have to take 7 minutes. It can, of course, take longer than 7 minutes, but it can also take as little as, I've gotten it down to 30 seconds or less. So if I was having a particularly stressful day at my business, or if something happened that would go wrong, or I was really frustrated about something, I would give myself a little time out, or I'd go for a little walk, and I would run through this process, this booster process in my mind. And I didn't used to call it the Painkillers Booster. I don't think I called it anything. I guess I called it my morning routine, or I thought of it as my way to calm down and center myself, but I didn't really have a name for it. But now I do, and I do it every morning, and sometimes I do it several times during the day. But I don't do a full 7 minutes. I might, like I said, just knock it off in 30 seconds, or I might just pull one piece out of it that I need right at a particular moment during my day to make me feel better and my pain feel less intense, and I'll just do that one thing. And I'll share a couple examples of that as I go through the 7 things. So the first thing, let's just jump right in. The first thing is focusing on my breathing and doing intentional breathing. We're all breathing all the time, right? We're not paying any attention. We breathe on autopilot. But the purpose of the first step is to intentionally breathe. And I've learned a lot of different strategies for this over the years. But today I'm going to teach you my new favorite one, which is just probably because I just learned it couple months ago. And so it's recent. And I like recent new changes and ways of mixing up my routines. So the first thing is all about breathing. And I call it a 4x4 count. So all we're going to do is we're going to breathe in for a count of 4, take a deep breath for a count of 4, hold it for a count of 4, breathe out for a count of 4, hold that for a count of 4, and then repeat. And I will usually do that for about a minute, or 3 to 7 rotations of that. And it depends, because if I'm sitting up in a chair and doing the breathing, I can do it for a full minute. If I'm laying in my bed and I'm doing this whole 7-step process, if I breathe more than like 6 or 7 times like this, I have a tendency to fall back asleep. So you just have to figure out what works for you. But the whole purpose of step 1 is to concentrate on your breathing, focus on your breathing, and quiet your mind as you move into this process. Step 2 is all about thinking about what you want and why you want it. So I'll spend a minute, and I try to keep it to a minute so that I don't stretch out my morning kind of wake-up routine. But I will think of, at the big picture, all of the things that I want in my life and why I want them. And that's pretty simple. If you don't know what you want, focus on or ask yourself, what don't I want? And then just do the opposite of that. Step 3 is all about gratitude. And for a full minute, will go on what I call a rampage of gratitude. And I will think of all of the things that I'm grateful for, from my magnifying glass to my pen to my family to my cozy bed, whatever it happens to be. I will just start thinking about and feeling grateful for all of the blessings in my life and all of the things that are working out well. That is step 3, and probably the most important. And that's one that I often call upon throughout my day when I am having a pain burst, or I'm having some type of a flare. I try to remember and focus all of the things that I'm grateful for, because that is one of the most powerful things that we can do no matter how we're feeling. Step 4 is all about being in the present moment and focusing on the now. So I will really tune into, for about a minute, exactly what's going on within me and around me, and what's going on and what's happening right now, right this instant. Because sometimes, not just sometimes, oftentimes, we spend as human beings the vast majority of our time commiserating over the past or worrying about the future. Both activities, totally non-productive, and there's nothing we can do about either one. The only thing we can do is focus on the present moment and the now. So spending a minute really tuning into where I am physically, emotionally, spiritually, what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking about, and focusing on the present moment grounds me in a much better sense of reality and where I want to spend my day than worrying about the past or worrying about the future or commiserating over the past. So that is step 4, focus on the present moment, focus on the now. Step 5 is all about, I do what I call a power vision movie, and I visualize my day going perfectly. I visualize everything that I need to do during my day or that I want to do during my day, and I imagine it going perfectly in my mind. And I add as many emotions and feelings and as much detail as I can to that little movie. And that's why I make it a movie, because I put myself in it, and that allows me to tap into the feelings that I'm feeling as I'm going through that perfect day, which makes it a much more powerful visualization. Then step 6 is I think about what I need to do for the day and how I'm going to act. And as part of that, I pick one thing to focus on, one priority thing. There's the number one priority thing I need to accomplish for the day. And I think about what that is. And of course, there's a lot of other things I'm going to do as well, but I pick one main thing that I have to make sure that I give all my attention and all my focus to. So some days that one thing might be that I've got a doctor appointment or a procedure, and I'm going to go into that with all I have available to me. Or it might be that I'm going to do a Facebook Live, and I'm going to go into that, and I'm going to do the best that I can with that activity. Whatever it is for you, pick the one most important thing that you need to accomplish today. And I do that for a couple of reasons. One, so that I actually get a sense of accomplishment, that I got my one thing done, and I can feel good about that. Number 2, so that I actually focus on and I can get that one thing done. Otherwise, life gets in the way, and we are so distracted and so inundated with other things and other people's priorities. If we don't know what our one priority is, it's probably not going to get done. And finally, step 7 is all about forgiveness and blessing. I like to spend a minute before I begin my day, or if I'm having a tough day, number 1, forgiving myself, and for anything I think I might have done wrong or made a mistake or said wrong. And number 2, forgiving other people, because a lot of times people do things that hurt us or hurt our feelings, and they don't even know they've done it. So I forgive them for that. And more for me, I forgive people. We all forgive people more for ourselves than we do for them. Because so often people do things that they don't even know have a negative impact on us. And so us forgiving them would be meaningless to them, but it means everything to us. So I spend my last minute forgiving myself and anybody else for any way that I think I may have been harmed in the past, and then sending out an overall blessing, just kind of goodwill and good karma and good vibrations to the rest of the world and the rest of the universe, because I think we get out of life what we give out. We get back what we give out. And so I like to spend the last minute forgiving people and blessing everyone. So that is my 7-step booster, Painkillers booster system. I encourage you to try this today and see how it impacts you and your chronic pain. That's it. Go out and make it an awesome day, and I'll see you again soon with another chronic painkillers prescription. Bye.